We just had a quick question from Sam asking us what the process is that we follow to get to the trade idea for the day. Now, Sam, the process is fairly simple. The very first thing that I usually start the day with is going to the must read section of the terminal and then finding the opening news section. Now, normally when I get to the screen, the opening news, the European one isn't loaded yet. So I normally start with the daily Asia Pac opening news. Once the European one is in the terminal, I'll read through that, basically going through all of the major events that is moving the various asset classes across the board, especially the events that might have taken place while I was away from the screens. Now, after that, I normally move on to additional news, additional research, analysis, etc. Now, there are various sources that you can use for that. The one that I normally start with on Zenith, if you have access to that, is reading the FX news articles as well as the global market news and the commodity news across the board, seeing if there's anything that'll be important for the trading day ahead. Now, if you don't have access to Zenith, some of the other sources that you can use for that is places like Bloomberg, Reuters, as well as Forex Live, just to give you some examples. Then after that, I normally start with the intermarket analysis. Now, what I'll normally do there is I'll start with equities across the board, looking at equity futures, as well as looking at the indices from my Zenith platform. After that, I'll also have a look at other asset classes like commodities, having a look at volatility, bond yield spreads, and then, of course, the currencies to see exactly what type of movements we've been seeing in the currency space. Now, after that, I normally do turn to the calendar as well, having a look at the upcoming events that I've scheduled for the rest of the session, if there's any major events that I need to be preparing for. Now, normally, before we've even ever looked at this in the morning, we would have gone through this well in advance as well. So it's not really something that I only do in the morning, but just a quick recap. And then after all of that, that should normally give me all of the information that I need to know exactly what the dominant currency drivers are for any particular currency session or any particular trading session. And that'll give me a sense of the dominant theme for that particular day. Now, what we've done for you guys as a little bit of of doing all the heavy lifting for you guys, so just because we've created this daily analysis checklist. Now, what that analysis checklist will help you do is basically taking you through all of the stages that we would recommend you guys go through. The first one you'll see there is the daily opening news, making sure you know exactly what's moving in the markets, doing your inter-market analysis, making sure you know what's happening in equities, commodities, currencies, bonds, etc. Then the next step for you guys will be to go to the daily risk event outlook report. Now, the daily risk event outlook report, just like the opening news, will be in the must-read section of the terminal. There you'll find the upcoming events as well as the expectations. You'll also see upcoming political events as well as central bank events, and then the important events for the day with a chart there, exactly what we're looking for, what the analysis or analysts out there are looking for those events as well. Next step after that will be to go to the dominant currency sentiment report. Now, if you open up the Market Insights tab, you'll see that we've basically all the information that we go through on a daily basis, all the investment bank analysis, all the opening news, all the articles, all the additional research of all of that. We basically filter that down. And in every session, we give you only the most important moves or most important news that we think is moving the currency markets right now, and provide you with the strongest and weakest currency to make the best pairings for the session ahead. Then after that, we would advise you guys go through the Forex Source video commentary videos. Now, apart from the opening videos that we do every day, we do post video updates throughout the day, making sure that you guys stay on top of any shifts that we see in terms of the currencies, any shifts that we see in the bias or the sentiment, etc. And then after that, you can also have a look at the sentiment drivers report. Now, the best thing that you can do for that is go to the Market Insights tab, and then you basically just have a look at the prior day's current sentiment drivers report, so that you're looking at the future sentiment shifts that we think can move this currency going forward. So the reason why you want to go through that is when you're sitting at your desk and you're waiting for the squawk, you're waiting for the news feed. Whenever you get important news events coming through, you know exactly what type of news we're looking for and expecting to move those currencies. Then after that, you can do your own additional news and news analysis and research, like we've shown you in some of those other sources. And then after all of that, you can do your chart analysis. Now, normally chart analysis for us slots in just after we've done the additional news and research and intermarket analysis. And with chart analysis, there's so many different things that you can do, really. Once you've once you've decided what the dominant currency sentiment theme should be, what the strongest and weakest currencies would be for a session, like in today's example, we have the Aussie US dollar. Once you've established that, then you can go to the chart with any type of technical strategy that you want to really find those highest probability entries and exit levels. What we do is we try and keep it simple. We use things like support and resistance, psychological price levels. Sometimes we'll use Fibonacci as well. We use the ADR to show us the highest probability volatility range for a particular currency pair. You can also use things like pivot points. You can use things like moving averages. Any real technical strategy that you feel comfortable with, you can use after you've basically decided what currency should be the strongest and weakest one in a session. So I hope that process, as well as this checklist, will help you to find those